So this keyboard, which I got a few months ago, has easily 3x'd my productivity when it comes to programming and typing in general, actually. And I'm gonna give you a few reasons why. So first of all, and this is not a productivity related reason, but it is like one of the best attributes about this keyboard is that obviously it's a split keyboard. It's not a like compact keyboard which is joined in the middle, right? And because of that, you don't really have to type like this, right? Where your hands go not pointing inward, but where your shoulders kind of get hunched over because you have to get your hands into your body, kind of. Instead, and let me just adjust this so you can see it better. Instead, what you can do, like instead of typing like this, you can just relax your shoulders, right, nice, and just have the keyboard instead of being like this, be like this, or even be more spaced out to the point where you right now cannot even see it, right? Instead of typing like this, you can relax and just type in a natural position. Absolute best investment I've made so far when it comes to like ergonomics and stuff. This is the Corn MX Pro. I don't know if you can see that. Wait, let me actually. There you go. And now I have to readjust. Okay. A handsome young boy I am. So the first productivity related reason is obviously it has thumb clusters, right? This is pretty nice because usually on a normal keyboard the only time you use your thumb is with the space key, right? Some people use their thumb for the V key or the B key, right? Or maybe even N and M with the right thumb. But if you do that, in my opinion, you're just pretty weird, to be honest. Especially if you use your right thumb on a normal keyboard. Like, who uses their right thumb for space? Anywho, you basically get five extra keys, because on the other half, for your right thumb, you now are able to have 3 extra keys that you can press, which you cannot do obviously on a normal keyboard, right? Why this is so super nice, in my opinion, is because now I have been able to remap my shift key. So instead of, if we turn this right here, so instead of, I've got all my diet sodas I'm cutting right now, so I'm just drinking a lot. I'm drinking like a liter of diet soda a day. But instead of like going like this, right? Instead of moving your hand like this to reach the shift key on the left, what you can do is, and what I did, is I remapped the shift key onto my right thumb, right? So now instead of having to go like this and holding this position to kind of type in uppercase, I now can just hold this button down right here and just continue typing normally. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Now, another reason is that it forces you, because of the split aspect, if you put it far enough apart, and because of the aspect that the keys are aligned right above each other instead of being like offsetted weirdly to the left and to the right. It forces you to use all of your 10 fingers to type, and this is incredibly more fast than the way I used to type, which was primarily using these 5 fingers. Where I didn't really use the right thumb. So what I used to do was basically just zoom all over the keyboard, and sometimes even press keys like Q with my right hand, just going crisscross all the time. And that obviously was super inefficient. I mean, you can imagine, right? But even if you are not that bad, not as bad as I was, you probably still dominantly use those 4 fingers. And what this keyboard forces you to do is to stay on the home row, because you want to have your thumb cluster, right? You want to have your hand in one position. You don't want to move around a lot, because otherwise it's hard to reach the thumb cluster. And that way, even as well, without the offsets, you don't really have a strain with going left and right when you go up and down, right? That way, it's way easier to just type in general. So there's no strain with going straight up, but there is a strain with like offsetting a little bit. And it forces you to type with all of your 10 fingers, which I didn't do beforehand, and now I do, kind of, because I'm not that good at it, right? I have only been doing it for like 2 months now. I've been practicing close to every day. And I've already gotten pretty fast, faster than I am with a traditional normal keyboard. So obviously, or maybe not obviously, I mean if you have counted the keys, which I don't think you did, but you can probably see that there are only 3 rows, and on a traditional keyboard there is more than 3 rows. Let me see if I can show this. It's plugged into my PC. It's behind the desk and I don't want to unplug it right now. But basically what you have to do with this type of keyboard, which is, one could argue, is a negative side effect, but I would even argue it is a positive side effect because it's so much faster. The way I set it up is you have to do remaps. And basically what I did on the left hand, right, if you go all the way back here and look at my nice diet soda collection at my Wi-Fi pineapple, right? Hack5 should sponsor me, bro. We've been getting like 20 views a video, bro. We're going viral, one. So basically, instead of like having the numbers up here, right? This is such a pain in the ass. I should have set it up better. I'm gonna show you a hand cam after this. But instead of going to the numbers up here, you can just press a leader key, which is, for me, the remap down here on the thumb cluster. This is enter, this is escape, because I use Vim, by the way. And this is the layer switch, right? So if I hold this key, all of these keys up here just change into another layer. And I'm going to show you that right now. Alright, so switching over to my keyboard layout, which I kind of customized because you don't have as many keys. Obviously you don't have the number keys above here, right? If you look down at your normal keyboard, you will realize that there's like an entire row less, right? Even 2 if you include the FN keys, which nobody really uses, right? If you look at the layout right here, I have a few like super keys on the sides right here, and I just have the normal QWERTY layout laid out across the keys right here. So if you go into Notepad and just, or actually we have, yeah, right here, the matrix tester, and okay, that doesn't work. Well, we can press A right here, A, S, D, F, G. As you can see, right, it's like this in the layout. Now, super cool thing is, which I already mentioned, the shift key, which if I just hold this down, I can do that again, right? Obviously right now I have the keyboard a little bit closer so it fits into the camera. Normally I would have it like all the way like that. But yeah, I just want you to be able to see it as well. So what you actually do to fix this issue of having not enough keys is you do layering. And you can see this key right here and this key right here. So this one and this one for me are different layers. So right now we are on the base layer, on layer 0, which is just what you see right here on screen. So we have obviously these keys, we have H, J, K, L, right? We have control. If you press Control A, obviously to mark. We have backspace where it usually is. I just did that because I didn't want to like change too much, right? Because that will cost even more efficiency. But now if we press this layer key right here, and if we hold it down, we actually go into the next layer. And this looks horrible in this software, right? But it actually makes quite a lot of sense. So
fingers on the home row again. If we press this, right, the layer 1, and if we now go to the top row right here, those are the numbers, as you can see right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, right? The second row, or the home row, is the equivalent of pressing Shift and the number. So you can see right here it says L Shift with the number included. So this is also super cool because we can just press this, and instead of pressing Shift 1, which would give us an exclamation point, we can get rid of the Shift entirely, and we can just press with our pinky where under 1 is right here, and we get the exclamation point. So below the numbers on the home rows, I just added the Shift equivalents. So we have right, if you press the numbers with Shift, you get these symbols, and if you were to just press Shift and press the numbers, you get the same symbols. So same on this row right here, which these ones especially, these ones are not with Shift, like my index finger and my what's it called, my pinky and my index. These both have curly braces if we are in the layer, right? And this is just for programming sakes. I use the curly braces way more often than I do slash or equal signs. With slash and equal sign, I just press Shift and go up, right? This also works. But I use the curly braces obviously way more often, right? Because I program in C mostly. Now we have the special symbols, which, right, you have these, whatever they're called. And for these as well, you can either go with the thumb. I'm trying to train my thumb into going here, which I already do for B on this side, but I seem to have trouble to doing this on this side for N, so I don't have to, so I can reprogram my mind into associating my index finger with the letter M if I go down, because right now what I'm doing is I press N sometimes with the index, sometimes I press M, so I kind of get confused sometimes when I want to press M or N. Right, so again, we have the non-shift alternative and the shift alternative right here. And then for these ones right here, right, my middle finger and my ring finger, where K and L are, if we press down the layer, we have the shift alternative, like all the other keys, which is the normal brackets. But if we now go down one, we have the, I don't even know what those are called. You have the, these brackets, right? Which you also use a lot in programming in C for arrays, right? Yeah, other than that, you have, obviously, if you hold this down, this dash and underscore, and then some other special characters, which, for example, if you go down here, we have the pound symbol, we have the sharp S, which is used in Germany, we have the semicolon and the backslash, and the I don't even know what those are called as well in English, but you get the gist, right? And the reason why it looks weird, like why it says pipe on this key, but when I press it, it actually does the pound symbol, is because my layout is in German, so I kind of had to figure out which keys go where. And I actually had Alt and Tab, kind of similar like on a normal keyboard, so I still have the muscle memory of just going Alt Tab, Alt Tab, Alt Tab, Alt Tab, right? So this just makes it pretty easy. Yeah, I mean, this already wraps it up for my keyboard layout. I mean, we have one more key, one more layer, the layer 2. And this I initially wanted to use for the shift layer, which I then decided to move here. I haven't removed it here because I don't really go into this layer a lot. I only use it for the arrow keys, because sometimes you have to use those, right? I am using Vim a lot, so I don't use them too often, but sometimes you have to use them, right? When you're in a browser or something. Yeah, and that basically already wraps it up. I mean, I would recommend getting the same keyboard or even getting a more advanced one. I just got this one because it was the price of a normal keyboard and it wasn't like 500 bucks like the one from Kinesis. But yeah, I would highly recommend it. It has increased my productivity so much because I now type with all of my 10 fingers, right? Instead of doing this nonsense, right? You can obviously tell this is a lot faster than going like this, right? Yeah, I mean, if you had the same problem, I would highly recommend this. And that's all I got for today.